Welcome to Hyfindr Expo-Highlights at the Hamburg Hydrogen Technology Expo. Today, we're at Stäubli visiting José, who is showing us the system. And José, does this work like this?
No,
No. Okay. These are two. What products are you showing here?
So the products that we show here are connectors.
Connectors.
Basically,
like
that's the activity of our Stäubli Connectors division, producing connectors, and in the hydrogen exhibition, showing products dedicated to hydrogen transfer.
So connectors mean
here,
things where you can, let's say, frequently connect and disconnect a gas or hydrogen supply. That's
Exactly,
you have products all around that.
correct. And
Okay. And this one would be a
so it's an H2 nozzle.
hydrogen, yeah.
See here, H35 HF stands for 35 megapascal working pressure.
Yeah, 50 bar, right?
Yes. So the way we thought about this refueling experience is to make sure that operators don't have any worries with our product, but the end user, which is not the same person, will be happy in using a new way of filling his vehicle.
Okay.
So that's the two things that we took into account in our development.
Okay. So this is a 350 bar.
Yes.
This one is a 700 bar.
That's correct.
Any difference? How does it connect to the vehicle?
Yeah. So the vehicle have storage.
Yeah.
Storage is rated for 35 or 70 megapascal.
Yeah.
It's a standard, worldwide standard.
Yeah. Okay.
So depending on what you have on the
you
vehicle.
have the nozzle there, right?
Yes.
So
You just take it out from the holster, and then you engage it. You push. It's connected. So you know that it's sealed. There is no hydrogen escape during the filling.
Yes.
Then we are filling the vehicle, and when the process is done, then you just need to pull on it and to store it back. And to do this properly, there is an infrared communication device.
Okay, that is in the ring here.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That gets the information from the vehicle, goes to the dispenser, and the dispenser can adjust the filling according to the information it receives from the vehicle, which is quite new in fueling vehicles. We don't have that in traditional petrol filling.
So the vehicle is literally talking to the dispenser all the time,
Yes.
telling it how much it wants.
Correct. Giving the flow,
The temperature.
room temperature. Yeah.
So what I found really interesting is, as you were showing us, this actually has two connectors in it, this hose. Can you show us that?
There is another hidden, or let's say less evident connector. It's what we call the breakaway. The function of that is when the nozzle is connected, it stays connected. So if the driver goes away, forgets that the nozzle is still connected to the vehicle, there is a need for something to prevent damage. And this is the function of this to prevent this accident. It separates this part, the male part, will disconnect from the female part, and then it will prevent damage to the dispenser and to the vehicle as well.
So if this is still connected to the vehicle,
So
it will.
If I pull, you see it stays connected.
Yes.
So there is something that needs to separate to prevent that we are damaging everything.
And how much force do you need to apply for this thing to actually disconnect then?
So it should disconnect from 22 kilograms. Can't disconnect at lower, but it must have disconnected at 66 kilograms max.
Right.
Above this value, it should have been disconnected.
Okay, right. So this is the vehicle
So
side?
that's typically, the infrastructure needed for filling a hydrogen vehicle.
Okay. And what do you have over here?
So we also have, for the hydrogen to the station, we need to carry usually this hydrogen to the station.
Yeah.
And then normally, since the station itself is not producing its own hydrogen, there are very few stations that allows that, you need to transport the hydrogen to the station to then be able to deliver that to the vehicles. And this is what we present in here.
All right.
These are connectors that we offer to transfer hydrogen to trailers, and the trailers are going to deliver this hydrogen to the station to then be finally going into the vehicles.
Okay, so how does this work? Just like the other one as well, can you take them off or are they fixed?
No, we can take it. You just have here to push,
Yes.
pull on the sleeve, and then you disconnect it.
All right. So this is, which side would be the trailer? This is the hose. So
This is on the hose, on the production site,
you're right.
where you have electrolyzers, compressors.
Okay, so hydrogen is coming from there.
Yes. Then you take it, and you plug it on this part that is on the trailer side.
Right.
Or you can see it here.
All right. Okay, so the trailer will be there.
So you just need to push.
Yeah.
It's connected. Again, it's sealed, so you don't have any gas escape. Then the transfer starts. You fill the trailer with hydrogen. Then you can disconnect to allow the trailer to go to the final destination. To disconnect, you need to push on the connector and pull on the sleeve.
Yeah.
This is made to prevent that you are disconnecting while the hose is still under pressure.
Understood.
So then it's safe, there is no more pressure, we can disconnect it. Then you place the cap that is not here present, and the driver can go away with the trailer.
Up to what kind of pressures does this work?
So we can reach up to 1034 bar of maximum working pressure.
Over 1,000 bar.
Yes.
So, and what's the difference between all of these?
Mainly difference is the maximum working pressure that the customer needs, the flow needed as well. If you have a large volume to transfer, you would select a bigger connector.
Okay, yeah, so this is this size. This is a, oh yeah,
Yeah,
smaller sizes here, okay.
correct. So that's, this is the higher pressure rating, and this is medium pressure. We can go up to 550 bar.
Up to 550 bar on these ones.
Yes.
And these ones are,
And these are connectors that we are offering to customers for a low pressure collection. Basically, you want to fill a fuel cell with a small volume of hydrogen, then you can use this connector.
okay.
You need to cool the fuel cell, then you can use this connector as well for water in, water out.
Okay. This is very handy. And also I like the fact that, you know, you don't even have to press any button. You can just like
it's
check it off. And
we always have in mind the ease of use for the customers.
yeah. So speaking of ease of use, I saw at the back of the stand you have an even bigger chunk sitting there. Maybe you can just show us that one.
Yeah. So that's what we call a multi connector.
Yes.
So we see that we have an arrangement with different connectors on one plate.
Yes, there are several of them all mounted together on one plate that you can connect at the same time.
And the point is, to be able to connect all these connectors, all these fluid. So you may have hydrogen in, hydrogen out, water in, water out.
Okay, so instead of one guy having to do tack one, and the next one, and the next one, you can do it like all in one.
Yes, and then
Whoa,
also
look at that.
Yeah, you see that
So you have 6.
in here we have 6. We may have more or less, depends on the need.
Okay.
And you just engage it. And when we need to lock,
Sack.
then it's done. And the good point of that system is you can't mix up. I mean, you can't put in and in, or out and out, or in instead of out, because it's one arrangement. There is only one possibility to connect.
Only works one way. I think we can also see it in the video here that, you know, just fits in perfectly and then makes the perfect connection.
Yeah. So it can be manual, it can be automatic. Really depends on the customer.
And this is for hydrogen or all kind of media?
It can be for hydrogen. We have one, for instance, installed on the ship to connect the skid to the equipment that remains on the ship. But this is also very commonly used in the industry, in the steel industry, in the automotive industry for testing engines, for instance.
Nice. Okay. Well, this is absolutely impressive. Thank you for taking us around your welcome. Yeah, this is Stäubli. Where are you guys based?
We are based in France, in a place called Faberge, near Switzerland, in the French Alps.
Okay, so that's where it's going. Okay. So thank you very much for showing us.
You're welcome.
Wish you all there. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.